So go ahead and fold your fabric into two and then you place your pattern. If you're watching the video for the first time, I have a previous video on how this pattern was created, so I'll advise you click out of this video and go watch that video so you can be able to create your pattern and come back to this video to watch this is the sewing version. If you created this pattern with me, remember that this pattern is acting as the front pattern and also the back pattern. So right now I am cutting out the back. So this piece I am cutting out right now is the back piece for the shirt dress. So if you created the pattern with me, go ahead and fold your fabric into two, place your pattern on your fabric and pin this so it doesn't move while you cut, or if you have any heavy objects, you place it on the fabric and the pattern. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the neckline. That's the back neckline, and also the shoulder, the allowance there on the shoulder. And you guys, this is the back piece. I'll just go ahead and indicate, I'll give this a mark to indicate that this is the wrong side of the fabric. Now to cut out the front piece, I'll just fold out the 3 inches we created for the button band. So yeah, if you created this pattern with me, remember this part? Yes. So I'll cut out the neckline. The F is for the front neckline, so I'm cutting out the neckline, and then I'll place this pattern on my fabric after I folded into two and cut. So you guys, I went ahead to cut this off the camera, but if you fold your fabric into two and you place the pattern and you just cut out the neckline and the side, and also remember that the front should be in 2 separate pieces. So make sure you have 2 separate pieces and indicate the wrong side. Now I'll be cutting out 1 inch gum stay. That is what I use for the button band. So the width is 1 inch. I'll place this at the edge of the front piece, one of the front piece. I'll just place this at the edge, and then I'll go in with my iron to iron this down. So I'll press it down. So just make sure that the width of your gum stay or your paper gum is 1 inch, and then you just place it at the edge, and make sure you're doing this at the wrong side of the fabric, on the wrong side. Now I'll go ahead and fold this twice, but I'll be folding it once first so I can be able to iron it. And then when folding, make sure you're folding it in once, like 1 inch, and then also make sure you iron this so it comes out neat. Now I'll go ahead and fold it again. So I have exhausted the 3 inches allowance for the button. So remember we created allowance for the button, it was 3 inch total. So and then this, I placed the gum stay 1 inch at the edge, and then I folded it in twice. So the 3 inches for the button has been exhausted. Now I'll go sew straight stitches on the edges of the band I just created, just as the picture on the screen is showing you. Go sew straight stitches, and then I'll repeat this on the other front piece, and this is what you should have. Make sure your stitches are straight and clean. So I'll just go ahead and place the the 2 different pieces of that's the front piece. I'll place it with the back and go sew. So I'm joining the front piece to the back piece, and I'll sew by 1 inch. So after sewing, this is what I have. The shirt dress is almost done, but then we have to add the collar. So for the collar, I'm just going to place my tape around the neck. So I'll place the tape around the neck, and I'll find out how many inches, because that is what I'll be using to cut out the collar. And then I got 21 inches. So yeah, I have my pattern folded into 2. and then go ahead and fold your pattern for the collar into 2, and then I'm going to mark 10.5 inch because that is 21. Remember, I got 21 inches as the round neck. So place your tape and find out what the round neck is, and then whatever number you get, divide that by 2 and fold your pattern into 2 and mark the number you get. So I marked the 10.5, which is the number I get after dividing the 21 inches, and now I'm going to mark the middle point of 10.5 inches, and the middle point is 5 1/4. So at the point where the 10.5 inches, I marked the 10.5 inches, I went up by 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and connect the 1 inch to the middle point. What I'm trying to create right now is the collar stand. So now I'll mark 1 inch on all the points. Like, I'm just going to take 1 inch. I'm just trying to create the collar stand. Before I do that, I'll make sure that this, what I just created right now, is still 10.5. So I'll just go in by 1 inch.
Never flax coach, nah. Girl, you get the best. I don't see the rest, you know. Shawty, you the best I've ever had thus far. So I'ma treat you better than your last by far. No matter what you do.
Now to create the collar, from the collar stand, I'll go up by 2 inches. So I'll mark 2 inches up from the collar stand. On the collar stand, I'll go in by 1/2 inch, or like you can go in by 1 inch. I think 1 inch is safer. And then at that point, I'll go up by 2.5 inches. And then I'll just connect, I'll connect it like this. And then I'll connect these other points like this. And this is how I created the collar for the shirt dress. I'll just go in with my scissors and cut out the collar stand differently, and then I'll cut out the collar differently too. But then when I'm joining, I'm going to join them back like this, so I'll get back this shape. So now this is the pattern for the collar and also the collar stand. I'll place this on my gum stay and then I'll cut it out. And okay, you guys, this is what I did. I placed the pattern on the gum stay and I cut it out, and then I placed the gum stay on the fabric that I'm going to be using, and I added 1/2 inch allowance on all points. I have extra 1/2 inch. This is what I'll be using to sew in the collar to the collar stand. And also I did the same thing on the collar stand. I placed the pattern and I cut on the gum stay, the exact, and then I added 1/2 inch when I was cutting on the fabric. I added 1/2 inch allowance on all points. Okay, you guys, I also cut out extra piece. Like, make sure you have 2 pieces of each. 2 pieces of the collar stand, 2 pieces of the collar, and I'll just place them right side facing right side, making sure that my gum stay is, at the wrong side. And when I'm sewing, I'm just going to sew in the exact point at the gum stay. Like, I'll sew in the 1/2 inch I left. And right now I am done sewing. I'm just going to flip this to the right side. I hope, even though my explanation is shitty, I know it's not sounding very detailed, but I just hope the process, you guys are watching and you're understanding the process. So now I'm just going to iron this down to make sure it is looking flat and nice. Now I'm going to be attaching the collar now to the collar stand, and I place the collar between the collar stand, like, you know, I have two fabric of the collar stand. I place the collar between it, and then I'll make sure that the allowance I have at the edges are both the same, so it doesn't, you know, look funny. I'm just going to make sure they're both the same. So now I'll go sew the collar stand to the collar, and I'll make sure I sew in the 1/2 inch I left, like on all points, both on the collar and on the collar stand. I'm going to be sewing in the 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to sew very close to the gum stay. And I will make sure that on the collar too, I'm sewing very close to the gum stay. And I'll also sew the sides. Now I'm done sewing. I'll flip this to the right side. It came out really nice, like mine came out really nice. So I went ahead to iron this. You know, I still have extra 1/2 inch on the collar stand, so I went ahead to iron that in. So go ahead and iron that in, and I'll fold this into two to know the middle point on the collar. So I'll just indicate the middle point, and also I'll indicate the middle point on the shirt. On the shirt dress, I'll indicate the middle point. That's on the neckline. I'll indicate the middle point. And then I'm going to place the shirt in between the collar stand. So I'll just open this up, and I'll place the shirt in between the collar stand. I'll go sew around the neckline. And you guys, that is it for the collar and the neckline. We're done. We're just going to move ahead to the sleeves. So after doing that process, this is it. This was the result I got, and I hope your result is looking better than my result. Now, cutting the sleeves. Before I cut out the sleeves, I'll just place my tape on the armhole and find out how many inches is on the armhole before I cut on the sleeves. So I got 11.5 inches. This is the fabric for the sleeves. I'll go in by 3 inches. From the edge of the fabric, I'll go in by 3 inches. Then I'll go down by 6 inches. Now I'll mark my elbow points. The length of the sleeve is going to be 24, because I'll be attaching another extra band to that. So now I'll just go ahead and connect the 3 inches. I'll go ahead and connect the 3 inches to the 6 inches. And then cut this out. Now just go ahead and mark what I got on the armhole. I got 11.5 inches. I'll be marking 12 inches including sewing allowance. I'll go ahead and divide the round elbow by 2, and I'll add extra, I'll add ease allowance and sewing allowance. So divide your round elbow by 2, or you can skip this part if you're not making this kind of sleeves. You're not making a long sleeves, you're making a short sleeves. Just go ahead and skip this part. But if you're making a long sleeve and you have another type of long sleeve in mind and you know how to achieve that, go ahead and incorporate that on your sleeves. Now just go ahead and cut this out. And you guys, this was the clip I was able to get on the shirt dress. So just go ahead and add your buttons to the band, and then create the kind of sleeves you want. and then go ahead and hem the base. And that is it for this video. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate you guys watching from the beginning to the end. Please let me know in the comment section if this was helpful, and let me know if there is suggestion you have or question or whatever you have and you want to communicate with me. Please let me know in the comment section below, or you can email me on my email. I'm going to making that available in the description box. And you guys, I'll be seeing you on my next video. Bye.
But it makes me crazy over you. No matter what you do, all I think about is you. And if they got a problem with my boo, they got a problem with me too.